Hey guys, welcome back. Doing a let's chat, catch up with the community, see how you guys are doing out there today. It's a middle of the day. Of course, it's 2:30. As you guys know, I did do an earlier stream this morning. I did the prayer meeting a little bit earlier. Some of you guys were upset that I did it a little bit early without proper notice, and okay, that's fair. I will make sure I do my best to give proper notice next time. However, I just daughter asked me to go with her to get an oil change today, and I told her I would do that. And as a father, I decided to go do the oil change with her to make sure that she wouldn't get every time she's gone to this place, they're always mean to her, and they always try to take advantage of her by saying, "Hey, you need to do this or this for your car," and they charge her like an extra $100, right? And so last night she asked, "Hey, Dad, can you go with me to get an oil change?" I said, "Sure, son." Or son, sure, Gab, I'll go with you. And so instead of canceling today's prayer meeting, I decided to go ahead and start it a little bit early for at least maybe some new viewers that maybe haven't had a chance to join the prayer meeting. They got a chance, an opportunity today to join. I saw some new people on there, which was great to see. And of course, to actually have one for people that maybe get a chance to watch it on replay. At least it's the continuation of our devotion in John. So I wanted to make sure that I did that. I didn't want just to cancel because that would be two that would have been canceled this week, because Friday we are not having a prayer meeting because Sharon and I will be heading out to Orlando to do some filming for the channel because we have to get content. That way I'm able to edit and produce and have videos, because a lot of the stuff that we're trying to do requires us to actually head out and go places to video and film and to create content for the channel. So all of that being said, we won't be doing a live stream on Friday morning like we typically do for the prayer meeting. We will have Stephen in-house tomorrow morning. He's already contacted me, said he will be here tomorrow to go ahead and lead us some music. So I'm excited about that. So he will be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. with us in the morning. So anyway, that is kind of a quick update from this morning and what was going on and what's going to happen later this week, which is Friday. So let me go ahead and say hello to a few of you guys that are in the chat this afternoon. Hello, Ian. It's good to see you. Hello, Vic. Boom Frank in the YouTubes. Yes, that's right, my good friend. Teresa, good morning or afternoon. Man, I'm still in morning mode. Hello, Snow Possum. Hey, Rainmaker. It's good to see you. Hello, DM. Hey, Dave. Dave's in the house. Hey, Dave. How are you doing, my friend? Missy Stevens. Hello. And then 67 Smith and Wesson. How are you doing, my friend? And of course, we have Cheryl Hypes. Cheryl says, "Hey, Frank. Sorry I missed the morning's prayer meeting. I kept right through it. I didn't even hear the notification." All good. It's all good. So let's see here. Ian said that was not a fair. That's not fair or fair for them to do to her. Yeah, I know. I know it's not fair that they do that to her, but that's what they like to try to do. And then she gets all nervous, right? She gets all as she's still a young girl. I say young girls. I mean, she's 19. But sometimes these places, these companies will still like to take advantage of young customers. A lot of times, guys that don't look like they know a whole lot about cars or anything like that, they try to take advantage. And of course, they have this perception that women don't know anything about cars, so they do their best to try to oversell them, upcharge them on things that maybe is not necessarily need to be done today. I know everybody's on a budget. People have are pinching pennies, right? And oil change needs to be done. And the place that we go is actually at the car dealership because she has free oil changes for the duration of her car. So she can get free oil change until she decides to finally sell her car there with that car. So I encourage her to go there for their oil changes. But I tell her, and I try to remind her, don't let them upsell you on air filters or anything else like that, because we can do that at home much cheaper than they'll charge her. I think they charged her one time doing it for like an extra $60. It came out to like $100. They ended up charging her for the oil change too, the time that she went. And so when I called up there to talk to the manager of the auto, or the what's that the section off of the dealership. Where do they call that? It's like where the mechanics and stuff are. I can't think of service department. The service department. And I spoke with the manager there. I said, "Why did you charge my daughter for the oil change?" And they said, "Well, we charge everyone for the oil change." I said, "No." I said, "She specifically has a contract with the dealership there. By going and getting her oil change there, she's not charged. It's in the contract. It's in your computer system." "Oh, well, she has to tell us that." I'm like, "It doesn't pop up when you come in, when you type in her information, it doesn't pop up that, hey, yeah, we don't charge for the oil." So they charged her the last time that she had gone. They charged her for the oil filter change. They charged her for an air filter. They charged her for something else. It came out with like over $100. And, teenage girl, living on her own in college, she doesn't have a lot of money to be spending. And then she spends all that on a service thing on the car. So when she told me today that she was going to go get that oil change and she wanted me to go with her, I said, "Yeah, I'll go with you. Make sure that they don't upsell you on stuff." So that, it's terrible that stuff takes place and it happens. So I that is why I decided to go ahead and do an oil early prayer stream this morning. So that way I had time to go with her and make sure they weren't going to be trying to upsell her on things. And because sometimes what they'll do is they'll come up to an unsuspecting person like my daughter, and they'll say, "Hey, this needs to be changed." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And not thinking, then they charge her when it comes up because they change it and they get up there and they charge her for it. So I was not going to let that happen to her today. Yeah, for real, sleeper. Yeah, blinker fluid. We need to add some more blinker fluid. That's an extra $20. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, Ian says, "I actually took in customers who were disrespected like that. It happened to my mom. This place called the Tire Plus tried to sell my mom new tires, and she had just bought almost a new car. I let him have it." Yeah, you have to. That's why I think fathers are so important as well. And these roles is to take care of their family, their daughters, even when they aren't living at home anymore. Your dad is going to be that one that goes with you and say, "Hey, no, that we're not doing that." Because they do try to take advantage of younger girls and women, and even some guys. I have a nephew of mine, very book smart dude, super smart. I mean, yeah, really smart book wise. But when it comes to stuff like this, they'll take him to the cleaners. And he has a great brother. His brother's awesome. His brother does all kinds of mechanic work and stuff like that. And he went up there. He let that company have it when they tried to upsell him on a bunch of stuff, and he almost did it until he called his brother and said, "Hold on, I'm on my way." And he spoke to them and actually got them to do exactly what we need to be done, not upsell them on a bunch of other stuff. Hey, Salty Nacho. Hey, Frank. Rock Auto is a great site for parts. Spread the word. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, DM. Yeah, I as most teenagers, they know it all, right? I've attempted to show her how to do some stuff, but with the oil change on the stuff, which is free for her, she goes and gets that done with the car. So, but every time I tried to show her stuff like that, she just didn't want to learn or didn't want to listen. So, and I don't blame her. I mean, I was a teenager. I remember when my dad would try to show me stuff myself, and I would, dumb dad, not pay attention. But I must hand it to my son, though. He does pay attention a little bit more than the girls did. Maybe that's just a little bit more because it's within that, sphere of what boys likes to do, So definitely there is a oil change place I do like to go that I trust very much. Doesn't do the upselling and stuff like that. They're great. And I'll get some of the cars serviced there for it. But sometimes, we've done it in the past at home too, and done it as well. But sometimes time can be a little bit of hard to come by. Yep. Yeah. DM says, "I did the same thing as a teenager and was sorry later in life." For sure, DM. Same here. There's times I wish I would have paid attention a a little bit more to what my dad was telling me about certain things. And my mom as well. My mom uh, took care of a lot of the finances and stuff like that. And she was pretty good with stuff like that. And, I regret not listening when I had the opportunity to listen. So, trying to pass down some of the missed opportunities that I had as a growing up that I missed intentionally, and try to pass those down at least. Yeah, Sunshine says, you did the right thing for your daughter. As a single woman, I hate going to get my car repaired or even an oil change because the crooks and dishonest mechanics out there looking to rip you off. Yeah, absolutely, Sunshine. And I know not all mechanics and places are like that, right? There are some good, honest places that you can go to, and they're very upfront. And sometimes they'll even work with you, and they'll say, yeah, hey, needs to be done or something like that. But you still have time. It can still go without and stuff like that. Or there's some great places out there. I know we've been fortunate when we moved up here. We've been fortunate to actually find those good mechanic shops around the area that we kind of live in that are truly honest people that won't sit there and try to rip you off or they won't rip you off, and they're very upfront about everything they do. So there are some great places. Yeah, for sure, Ian. Yeah, they make it very difficult sometimes to even try to work on some of your cars. Me and my nephew, we talk about this a lot because, again, he loves working on cars, and that's just kind of his comfort zone, right? And we talk about all the time how the newer cars are so designed where you have to take them to the service department because they have become overly complicated with a lot of stuff, where a lot of stuff doesn't look like it's needed or whatever, or it's very tight. I have very big hands. My hands are huge. And when I try to get my hands into some of those areas of the car, they just don't fit. And, you can ask Sharon. I'm not very handy sometimes, and I'm afraid to work on something that I know would not benefit from me working on it. You know what I mean? So, some of the simple things like changing oil and stuff like that, I did learn how to do that. I learned how to do all kinds of the little maintenance things. But as the cars have gotten more and more newer, it's harder and harder to work on them on your own. So, and a lot of stuff, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't opened up your hood, if you have like a newer model car, I say like from 2016 up, newer car, a lot of those internal latchings and clicks are all plastic. And you break one of those things, and it's hard to even get the thing to fit back the way it went. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough, but yeah, thank you there. Hey, thank you so much, Tasman. I appreciate that. It says you're a good man, Frank. I appreciate that. Sunshine says, Happy says, I went through 3 car repairs in 3 weeks. Money. I hope they were being honest with me. Yeah, I hope so too. They always get you with the cabin filter for sure. For sure. On hands down, I learned so much listening to my dad, as he said, may not made sense now, but it will later. Oh boy, was he ever right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Smith says, I used to hate oil from drain plugs running through my into my armpits until I realized it kills fleas. Yeah, Vic. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, new cars aren't meant to be serviced by the owner. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they do that on purpose, DM. They certainly do. I was very honest with people. I had a good reputation, says Tasman. We would have so many cars lined up every day, and to be a good mechanic has exactly what you'll get is good reputation and a lock business. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Some of these mechanics that I know in the area that are just fantastic people, and they're very honest and they're very straightforward. They always have so many customers that will come to them to do the work. And you can always tell outside about how they do it. Yeah. Leroy says, I drive an 83 AMC Spirit GT Basic. That's cool, man. That's cool. I use Valvoline, and that was their point cabin filters. Haven't been back. Took my wife's car for an oil change, and it began leaking a bit later. Took it to a small garage and had it replaced. Yeah. Hey, Tara says, I just spent $550 to have all the bearings all replaced in my 98 Durango rear end. A very good friend mechanic had to even make a special tool to do the job. Got a heck of a deal. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I had a wasn't a Durango, it was a Dodge Dakota, and the bearings in the rear end went out on it. I remember I was driving one time and it had gone out, and I didn't know enough about cars at the time, and I ended up trading it in. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. Yeah. Timothy Plonk says old engines can be worked on, but new ones, if you have an expensive diagnostic machine, forget it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, Raymaker says, you're right, Frank. All the new motors are flat. And when you have to take the plates off, it's all spaghetti and meatballs for sure. Yeah, it is. It can definitely be a challenge to work on some of these cars. These Vic says 350 Chevy, 302 Ford, and 318 Dodge, best engines to have. Yes. Tasman says that is a fact. Some of the times they do that, I feel so you have to take it back to the shop because not every average person has the tools or the knowledge. Simple little things had no problem. LOL. Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. And that's my biggest fear trying to work on the newer cars, right? And some of these newer cars that are out there. The special tools are. I remember being able just to work on your car with just a normal tool set, right? Sockets and your sockets and wrenches and stuff like that. You were able to work on your car, and now there's so many different little things that you might not have the right tool set to operate on the car. And a lot of the stuff is, ran through the computer system and the electronic system and the sensors and stuff like that. Maybe you're messing with some of that stuff and you mess up the sensor. Now you can't get a light to shut off, or it always does something. So yeah, definitely. Starlove Patriot says, I know nothing about vehicles, even though my dad is a mechanic. It is the truth, and you are very welcome, Frank. Yeah, thank you so much, man. My car isn't even this century. It's a 98. Hey, if it's still running, good on you. If it's still running, man. Some of those older cars are awesome, though. I love some of the older cars. Love it. Yeah, you need a special tool or a diagnostic machine to do most things at home. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I have a my nephew, I talked about already a couple times already. My nephew, the one that is more mechanically inclined than I am, and most of our family, he has some of those tools that he's able to diagnose. He runs it through the computer system, and it gives you at least the idea of where to start looking for something that might be going wrong with your car. He has some of those equipment and tools, so it makes it a little bit more helpful. He's been a great help in a lot of the stuff that we've worked on together. I hate changing oil for sure, man, for sure. Um, Ian says actually GM LS engines are the best now. High horsepower right from the factory, and you got to work really hard to kill them. Nice. Nice. 99 to 2006. Starlove Patriots, nice to change in pace talking about cars. Yeah, for sure. I don't, and trust me, I'm not a car enthusiast, but I love looking at the cars. I like looking at them and listening how they sound and stuff, especially the old muscle cars and things like that. Great stuff. And I really fell in love with the Dodge Charger, the newer ones that they had come out with, because they pay homage to the older Chargers, right? And they capture the spirit of the older styles of the Charger, and I really fell in love with those cars. I never owned one, but I've always loved looking at them and listening to their roar of the engine. Right, it's great stuff. I love American muscle cars. Some of the best times in our country, right? American muscle cars. Love the love our car. And that's one thing about people that grew up in this country. In this country, some things that we love as a nation are what? Cars and guns, right? And freedom. um So 78 vet, nice. Scott, Socratic method, nice. I like that. Tara says mom had an old 68 Pontiac with a trunk you could put in $150 worth of groceries and 3 carts. The DM says, sorry, I was thinking with Toyotas, they last forever. 3 presently at my home, a RAV4 and 2 Tacomas. Nice. Yeah. We have a Honda. Well, my daughter has a Honda. She has a Honda Accord. We have an older one too. We have a 2006 Honda Accord that still runs, has like over well, actually it has a new engine, so I can't say it has over 200,000 miles. It has a newer engine that only had 80,000 miles that we put in it. But yeah, it's going to run forever anyway. So yeah, those cars run forever for sure. Dave Simmons says, I used to work at a garage, started back in the 1960s. Wow. Yeah, for sure. So, so all that to say, that's the whole reason we had an early Bible study this morning. we talked about the Bible study this morning. We got dove in all the way into cars. But yeah, that's the whole reason we did an early Bible study. I know some of you guys were a little disappointed, or maybe you thought something had happened to the stream. I know Ian had reached out to me via email to make sure everything was okay with the stream, because if you don't know, if you watch the stream, if you tune in every morning to a prayer meeting, it starts off with a countdown. Then it goes to Stephen, Living Water song, and then we do our devotion and prayer session, and then we end with Stephen again with Living Water, and then the countdown bookends it, and the countdown to where the meeting actually ends. So a lot of people, if they count the end part, it's like catching the beginning anyway, and they're like, oh, what happened? The stream just ended. So for sure. So to answer everybody's questions, I was wondering what happened. That, I did that intentionally. It wasn't YouTube or anybody taking down the stream. It was me ending the stream from where we had already started earlier in the day. Star Love says, Frank, I thought it was like way later than 8 a.m. Had me confused. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Propus, it's good to see you. Ian says, I'm actually scared not to bring politics into this, but the environmental people have their way. If they have their way, they will have us all driving oversized golf carts for sure. Yeah, I talked a little bit about this over on Let's Be Frank a couple days ago. Was it? No, I don't think I brought this up because I haven't done many shows over on the main channel. And again, not to get too into the weeds of the politics, but in one of the bills that was passed recently, there's a stipulation there. I think all cars that are made after 2027, 2028, somebody's got to check for me. I don't have it right at my fingertips right now. 2027, 2028 will have an automatic kill switch in it where they can remotely turn your car off. And they say this is for police to shut off your car if you are suspected to be driving under the influence. And I was talking to Sharon about this. I was actually talking to Sharon about this. This is who I was talking to about it. I said, this is much more nefarious than just, and that's bad enough, shutting your car off, having the police the ability to shut your car off. And I know people will claim in the name of safety, right? But we've seen what they've tried to do in the name of safety, where they will, where does it end from there? You can just look at the spectrum and see how far they could take something like that. So I told Sharon, I said, it's really going to be the used car market. It's really going to explode even more than it already is, because if you guys haven't noticed, again, don't want to get too political, but if you haven't noticed around you, if you go into any like car lots or new cars lots, there's not very many new car lots or new cars or new car inventory on those lots. I went to the one today. It's a Honda dealership, and they had a bunch of used cars on the main lot. The main lot is is designed for all of the new cars. They had a lot of used cars up there, and not very many new cars. So for sure, there's a lot of stuff. So definitely want to look into that, guys. Again, I'll point you over to my other channel, and we can dive into that. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow, and we'll dive into a little bit more of that stuff over there. Let's see here. Yeah, Ian says, I know how to disable the GPS tracking. If I find a way to disable that, I'll find a way to disable that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah, that's going to be a huge moving down the road. So again, I don't want to move it into a political talking point, but definitely that is what's moving toward in the future of cars, right? And I think I talked about this. I don't remember how long ago, but I did talk about this. I used to tell my kids, I said, by the time you guys have kids that are able to drive, they won't manually be driving anymore. I think this generation of kids that we have right now, like my kids, my son, he's 14 right now. Next year, he'll get to get his learner's permit. But I think by the time our kids have kids, my kids at least have kids, and they're old enough to drive, I don't think that would be an option anymore. I think we're heading into an era of not having people be able to freely move on their own anymore. And it will have to be all programmed. Like you'll get in your car and you type in, for example, I'm going from my house to the grocery store. You would type out, you point on the map and it would take you to the grocery store, right? I think that is the direction we're ultimately moving in. And I think my grandkids, by the time they get a chance to start driving, they won't know how to do it. That skill, at least, society won't want them to know how to do it. Let me put it that way. I'll still teach them how to do it if I'm around. If I'm still around when my grandkids are old enough to start learning how to do that, I will be showing them how to do it. But as of right now, that is the direction I think we're moving in. Missy says, Frank, all the new restrictions is how come you can't work on them by yourself? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Time to go back to horses, Teresa says. Yes. I do know a horse rancher, so may have to go barter me some horses. Yes, soccer teeth method. Yeah, you will definitely probably have to do something like that. Who knows? Yeah, horses and buggies. The Amish will be coming back full circle. The Amish will still have their horses and buggies, and we'll be coming back to doing what they're already doing. We would have gone through this whole circle to come back to doing horse and buggies again. Save yourself a real a barachetta for your grandchildren's, Frank, for sure. Sleeper says, I got an email once a month telling me how my 2020 Ram is doing. Wow, that's freaky. So they email you like a diagnosis of your truck. Wow. Ian says this time of day is perfect. Done working usually by 2. Awesome. Yeah, that is something I did end up talking to somebody that worked in the car industry, and that's what they told us. They told us that they were having a hard time getting chips, and they couldn't get their cars to work at all, or get those cars over to them, or until they start putting chips into horses. Dad used to take me hunting with him. We would ride 3 days with a packed train, set up camp, and he hunted while I fished and hunted too. Sometimes skinning out to kill. Memories, yeah, for sure. Those are good memories. definitely good memories. Yeah, for sure. That's a lot of the stuff that's coming down the road. And, you know, I truly, this is, and when I talked about the whole car thing with my kids, that was probably 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I, kind of saw the direction that we were heading in. And, I'm sure more, much smarter people out there to me, were probably saying that 10 years before I even said it. So, you know what it reminded me? Do you guys remember that movie with Will Smith? It was I, Robot. Who watched that movie, I, Robot? It came out in the early 2000s. I think it was like 2003 or 2002. It came out, I, Robot. And I won't give too many spoilers of the movie in case you haven't watched it, if you want to go watch it now. But I, Robot, that was like one of my favorite movies in the early 2000s. Yeah, Starlove Patriot says I have. The Starlove Patriot, you'll know, in that movie, they had cars that is exactly what I'm describing. They had a destination put in them, and you would drive them, and they could override your cars to take you to different places that the government deemed necessary. And that type of technology was envisioned back then is where we are kind of getting to now, that to the point where the government would be able to, or the local governments could say, yeah, you're not going there. We're taking you to jail. So yes, I was disappointed. ASMI Vo would have been too. I actually thought it was a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed it. I read the book. Okay. Yeah, I've never read the book. I didn't even know it was based off a book. I'm sure, most movies are based off books, but I didn't realize there was source material before that. But I thought the I, Robot movie was done pretty good for the time when I watched it. I really did enjoy it because it all at the same time, all within that same era of 2000, the early 2000s, you had I, Robot. And do you remember the other movie that came out, had Tom Cruise in a Minority Report? Minority Report was another movie that I think really touches on a lot of things that we are seeing today, like the trying to prevent crime, and you're guilty before you can even defend yourself about a crime. You thought crimes and things like that. So a lot of these movies were kind of way ahead of their time of discussing things. I'm sure the Minority Report was also a book for anybody that was going to tell me, Frank, I read it in the comments. So yeah, I'm sure it was probably a book too. Ocean Bree Salty says, yep, I, Robot, my favorite author, Isaac Asimov. The book was 3 different robot stories. Okay, cool. I'll have to go snatch it up. I'd see if I can't order it and read it for myself. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, the OG nerd books are always better for sure. Yeah, DM says movies always kind of shows us what's coming for sure. Yeah, pre-crime prediction. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah, the author would have been disappointed. Agreed. However, the screen portrayal was good. Yeah, I thought the movie was good. Again, I didn't have anything to base it off, so maybe I would have had to read a book. Maybe I would have had a different view on it. But yeah, definitely. But what I'm just trying to use the illustration as of the I, Robot movie was the car scene, is where I was trying to pull the reference from the cars where they program them where to go. So that way there was nowhere traffic jams or accidents or like that, because things that humans do, like manually driving, was dangerous, right? But freedom is dangerous, as we know. And you could even make the argument, Demolition Man with this, who was that? Sylvester Stallone? Was that Stallone? Stallone and Wesley Snipes in that movie. Many of you guys may remember that movie. Again, one of my favorite movies to go back and watch sometimes. And the things that, the future, the utopia side of things were really government oppression. If you look at it and look at and look at the life they lived, right? And watching that movie back then, we couldn't even imagine what it was like for this. Hold on a second. I got a phone call coming in. Hello. Yes. What? You got moved up? You're going to JV? Oh, that is awesome, my son.
Dude, I did nothing.
Okay, hold on a second, go real quick. Okay, so this is Frank David calling me right now. His C-team season just ended last night, and we were talking about how the end of the season was going to be. So he has some news for you guys on the stream. Tell him what you just told me.
Oh, nice. Putting on the stream. I got moved up to JV.
He got moved up to JV basketball, so he'll be playing with the JV boys, and his season continues on. So basketball isn't over yet.
It continues to February.
Until February, okay. So he gets to play basketball until February now with the C team or the JV team, so which means more practice and more time to continue to get better, right?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. That is awesome news, Frank David. I'm going to take you off speaker now. That is awesome news, man. That's awesome. I'm very excited for you. Woo! I'm really happy. He has a game tomorrow? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for taking the practice, Gabby. And Frank David, we'll talk a little bit more when you get done with practice and you can fill me in on everything else. Okay? All right. Bye. Oh, yes. Hold on a second, guys. I'm working with Mill today, and I forgot that all the kids are doing stuff. Yes, come by the gym. All right. So anyway, so that's awesome. That's great to hear from Frank David. He got moved up to JV basketball. That's awesome, which he has a game tomorrow. So yeah, lots of great stuff. I'm very excited about my young son there getting moved up from C team basketball to the JV team. That's awesome. I'm very excited about that. I'm pumped because I know he's excited about it. So that is good. That is good stuff. So you guys got to be part of that's what's so unique about this channel, guys. You guys are part of the family. You guys are part of the family when you guys get to hear news like that and unfiltered news, right? You get to be part of the family, and that's why I love this channel. I love the community that's in this on this channel, that you guys are part of this family as well, our extended family now. And it's awesome that you guys are here and you guys get to take part and all this stuff that happens in my life too, right? Oh goodness. So anyhow, well, I don't have much more. I actually have to run. I gotta go do the tag for my Jeep because it needs to be updated because my birthday is next week, and that means I have to make sure my registration's up to date. So I gotta go with my daughter to go do that. She's coming over here to pick me up here in just a moment. It's my car. I bought the car and I gave it to her for her birthday this last year. Back in January was her birthday, her 16th birthday, and we went car shopping, and obviously I had to buy it under my name. So it's under my name, so it's under my registration, stuff like that. So I have to go update the registration on that one. That's the only one I had to do the 2-year one for, and now I'm regretting. I'm like, man, I should have did 2 years. So anyway, hey, Kaylin Du Bois, it's good to see you. So, all right, guys. Well, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. It was just a cool little stream to have and catch up with all of you guys and to talk. Don't forget, no prayer meeting on Friday. No prayer meeting on Friday. We have Stephen in the house tomorrow at 9 a.m. So prayer meeting back on normal track, 9 a.m. tomorrow, none on Friday. And then we'll be meeting back on Monday. Okay. So I'm excited about that. And again, apologies about earlier today, about the earlier prayer meeting that we had. I just didn't want to cancel and have two canceled for the week. But I appreciate all of you guys. I look forward to seeing all of you guys. Yes, birthday's next week, Ocean Brief Salty. Yes, next week I turn the most seasoned aged of 42 years old tomorrow, or not tomorrow, excuse me, next week. 42 years old tomorrow, or next week. I keep saying tomorrow, it's next week. 42 years old next week. There we go. That's why I turn next week for my birthday, and we will be having a birthday stream. So I'll be birthday streaming with you guys on Tuesday, which is my birthday. So, or is it Wednesday? Might be Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Whenever, it's Wednesday. So Wednesday, we get to hang out, birthday stream, and we get to have lots of fun. Maybe we'll play some games or something. I don't know yet. So, but anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Thank you to the all of the members, which is DM, Linda, Jason, Zart, Ian, Johnny, Sleeper, Remy Max, Timothy, Mary, Cheryl, Rainmaker, Kevin, Amy, and Movie Dog. Thank you guys for your constant support of the channel. Thank you for being members of the channel and supporting this channel through membership. So that is awesome. Ocean Breeze Salty says, youngster, not much older than my kid. Yeah, actually, Salty and I are the same age. Believe it or not. I think he might be a year older than me. I think Salty's a year older than I am. So we're a bunch of young pups, right? Young pups. Hitting our stride is what we're doing. We're hitting our stride. Thank you, Star Love Patriot. Happy birthday. Early birthday. Yes, appreciate it. But anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with Steven. So do you guys want to end with some living water? Do you guys want some living water before I go? Or you guys just want to end? It's up to you. Middle age. So. Oh, no. Okay, we got to go. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. God bless everybody.